Hello, welcome back to Whisky Wednesday. I'm Joe. This week I'm reviewing something that a lot of you should recognise. Very, very famous brand. It's the Glenlivet Nadurra. And Nadurra is Gaelic for natural. Hence the reason this whisky is bottled at cask strength. And it's 16 years old. And also, it's non-chill filtered. And non-chill filtered basically means they cool the whisky down, pass it through almost like a toothbrush filter, and filters out all the fats and oils. So when it's non-chill filtered, it still contains all the kind of important fats and oils, which generally gives it a bigger mouthfeel. It's also matured in first fill ex American oak casks. First fill American oak casks. Each batch is slightly different. So this batch is 0911P and it's bottled the 9th month of the 11th, or the 11th month of the 9th. I assume because this is Scottish, it's bottled the 9th of November. It's at 53%. Each batch is also slightly different strength as well. You should be able to see that there. So Glenlivet, one of my favourite distilleries. Great colour, really nice colour. And this is quite widely available actually. You can get it in Waitrose. It's available at every good whisky shop. If a whisky shop doesn't have this, it's not a good whisky shop. So Glenlivet Nadurra, 16 years old, natural cask strength, which is why every batch is different. And the batch that's out now is about 55. Yeah, so this is 53. So let's give it a nose. And Glenlivet's it's a Speyside distillery. Right, immediately on the nose, it's classic Speyside. But more importantly though, it's classic Glenlivet. This is Glenlivet at its finest. A kind of distillery character really comes through here. You get that kind of classic sweet orange and citrus, which you'd expect from a Speyside. You get a kind of fresh vanilla note, which you'd expect from the American oak. Kind of that spiced oak as well. A little bit kind of tinned pineapple, which is a lot of Speyside distilleries. They try and achieve that kind of pineapple note. It's quite hard to do, but they've managed to do it in this bottling. That kind of tinned pineapple. This kind of pronounced summer fruits. It's almost kind of like a creamy yogurty element to this, almost like a pineapple yogurt or a summer fruits yogurt. Kind of lots of honey. It's a really kind of summery whiskey. Very fresh, quite floral as well, but quite pronounced. It doesn't smell, it doesn't smell like their 12-year-old would. Their 12-year-old would smell, similar to this, but it'd just smell quite subdued. So this is very pronounced. Okay, let's give it a go on the palate. And remember, it is 53%. So if you were drinking this, you might want to add a bit of water, but I never add water when I'm reviewing whiskey because I like to keep all my reviews completely consistent. Yeah, a couple of drops and it'll take it down a bit, so let's try it. Oh, that's fantastic. That is good. Really honeys. That kind of creamy mouthfeel comes out. It feels really good in the mouth. Kind of honeysuckle, so that floral element comes back in on the palate. Very, very smooth. Really, really smooth. Alright, let's give it another try. Now this time, kind of that fresh pineapple comes out rather than tinned pineapple. Fresh pineapple, there's more of a kind of toasty oak, so you're getting all that kind of toasty vanilla, vanillins, a little bit of cinnamon, spicy, like slightly spicy clove, not too much, it's more cinnamon than clove, but it is there. Lots of juicy, mouth-watering barley. And again, the citrus note comes through. That is one thing when you try and Glenlivets you should look out for. There's an orange note throughout all the Glenlivets. Orange, look out for that. Starts off in the 12 and kind of progressively gets kind of richer throughout the ages. So you try the 18 and you get quite a deep, rich orange with a little bit of leather. The 21, it's blood orange, it's kind of cocktail cabinet, woody, but the orange note is there. And with the 15 as well, I reviewed the 15 quite a while back, it's one of my most popular videos, and that orange note is there as well. So the Glenlivet, it's all their expressions have that kind of orange note running through. Right, let's give it one more taste for the finish. Now on the finish, it contrasts quite nice. You get the kind of, on the palate obviously you get the juicy barley, but on the finish it contrasts with quite a dryness. Lovely spices as well. Definite ginger on this, on the finish, ginger spice. And what I like, I don't normally read the box before I do these reviews, but on the box it does say notes of ginger, because obviously they put a few taste notes on the box, but I always like to taste it first before I read them, which I have done. But I definitely agree with that. Ginger, and also it's quite nutty as well. Ginger and hazelnut, let's look at that. Genuine, I would not disagree with the finish of that. Lovely ginger spice, very drying. And it keeps coming back for more because it's quite fresh, very summery whiskey. You know what guys, that's a solid 9 out of 10. The Glenlivet Nadurra, 16-year-old, natural cask strength. Each batch is different. And so this is the 0911P batch. What I'll have to do, I'll have to pick up another bottle, another batch, and compare it and see how different they are. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for the Glenlivet Nadurra 16-year-old. Please share the video, and I will see you next week, guys. Cheers.